Hello, I'm a ghost. That is false. I'm actually a human being just like you, hiding underneath a woven blanket. Because in this video, I'm going to show you how to create trending woven blanket designs with 100 plus ready-made prompts, as well as a new prompt for you to create your own. So let's jump right in. All right, so as you guys can see here, I've already generated this using Google Gemini, and it is based on the first few pages of woven blanket design, so basically the bestsellers, and I've asked it to come up with all the design styles based off of those bestsellers. So dark fantasy, literary, whimsical cottagecore, gothic, medieval. So this is basically what you will see on the first few pages of Etsy results, is these styles, but here they are written out, so we can use them to create our own. Then I've also asked it to come up with the top 10 popular Etsy niches for blankets, also based on the top results. So fantasy is one of the biggest ones, which I told you guys in the last video. Gamers, spiritual witchy, couples blankets, pet parents. Oh, interesting. That's quite interesting. Yeah, if you want to do like, you can do pet specific artwork. Like on Etsy, it's usually higher leverage to sell personalized items. You don't have to, because you can also just make a lot of sales with non-personalized, as I've showed you guys in the last few videos. And of course, the reason we want to sell these blankets is because the margins are much higher, and you can also sell them on Amazon. So the margins that the profit that I made on these was between 20 and 40 US dollars on Etsy and Amazon, as well as on Shopify. Shopify is actually even a little bit higher. And then we have here the top 20 finalized woven blanket niches, filtered for woven print compatibility and high value demographic relevance. All right, so we got all this data, which is really cool. And what you can now do is you can create your own prompts using this second tab. So I'll put this in the downloads for you guys, but then you go to the second tab. Insert the below prompt in Gemini or ChatGPT while attaching the Google Doc. So basically, you paste this into ChatGPT. I personally use Gemini because as I'm recording this video in early December 2025, it is much faster to use the new Google Gemini than it is to use ChatGPT for image generation, but you can do whatever you want. Then you you upload this document with this, right? And then you give it this prompt, and then it will come up with its own new prompts. So all right, so I will also include for you guys a list with 100 prompts, which is this list. But like I said, with using the previous doc and that prompt, you can make your own prompts. Like you can make 100 new ones or 1,000 or whatever you want, right? These are just 100, and they're, pretty good. So you have here the top 10, a sardine-filled colorful flowers. This is all based on the research. It's not making this stuff up, right? So these are all the prompts based on the previous research from the Google Doc. Foodie Danish pastel. And then in Google Gemini, it comes up with stuff like this. So in this case, I would remove the background, although that's already kind of beige, right? So if you remove the background, here, hold on. So if you remove the background from this image, it will print as roughly this beige color, which is the base color of this blanket, right? Which is nice. You can do that. You could also download this and then remove the background and replace it with your own. That's fine too. Here's another one. So symmetrical graphic design of a cow skull wearing a cowboy hat. And you get this stuff. It's very interesting. And these all belong on the bestsellers for Etsy. All right, so here's a different style pixel art with a cat. And then it comes up with this. Of course, you need to remove this, right? You do understand that you would open this in Photoshop, which is what I showed you in my last video. So if you want to know how to turn these into the actual things, into actual print files, and then make mockups and upload them to Etsy, then you should watch my previous video. So And here's another cool thing that you can do is you can go to Grok, and I accidentally made a video here, but you can also just paste these prompts into Grok and then get images. And what's really cool about that is that if you scroll down underneath that image, it will show you like a bunch of other images very similar that other users have created. Um, I don't know if this is from other users or it instantly generates these things as well, but look, you have so much to choose from, so you don't need to reprompt all the time if you don't like it. You can just like, okay, let's pick this one. It's kind of cool, right? This would be cool for blanket. And then you just click here. Nope, actually joking. You click here to download it. And yeah, so Grok has this sort of infinite scroll where you can just scroll down and see more images like that. And these could all do quite well on bestsellers. No, it actually generates them. See, it just generates them really quickly, which is kind of cool. Um, so yeah, and here's that same one again in Google Gemini. Ah, both are quite good. Now again, I showed you in the last video, you do need to upskill these. So I'm not going to show you that here, but this is just the prompt video. All right, so here's another style that we got from Google Gemini. Yep. So again, pretty cool. This one, distorted wavy checker box. Yeah, this is quite cool because this, like here, we start to see like, oh shit, this can actually be a bestseller because you could personalize this with like a pet picture. And this is also the very popular style of these tarot cards. So what you can do is you can create an Etsy listing and you can say golden retriever personalized blanket, golden retriever gift, blah, blah, blah. And then ask people to send their picture of their actual golden retriever. And then what you do is when you receive that photo, you download it on your computer and then you insert this thing and then you say, hey, Google Gemini, replace this existing dog with sort of the dog from the picture. Not literally, right? But drawing that dog from the picture in the same style as this one. And that works extremely well. And I've sold actually a bunch of ornaments that way. So that's kind of cool. So when you do personalization in 2025 or 2026, what you would do is you would go to Google Gemini and just say like replace the dog with the dog from the picture, replace the name with the name from the whatever, right? You don't have to do this in Photoshop anymore, which is really cool. So photo editing can be done in Google Gemini now, which is awesome. All right. So yeah, this is Grok. Like you just go to grok.com and then you go to Imagine. I think you need to be logged in. And then what I want to show you here is what happens when you actually prompt one of these blankets from here. And make sure it's set to image and not to video. Just FYI. So that's the golden retriever again. Look, you now have so many styles to choose from because with the previous one from Gemini, I didn't really like the font, but now you can just pick any one that you think is good, right? And imagine this is already like 50 different Etsy listings. You do understand that, right? Because you do golden retriever, you do other things like Labrador, and you do Labradoodle, and then you do Corgi, and then you do Jack Russell. And that's already 50 or 100 different ones, right? Especially if you go into more exotic dog breeds because there's fewer searches for them. Of course, there's also less buyers, but you get my point because everyone is doing like a Labrador, personalized Labrador mug or personalized Labrador, I don't know, something, t-shirt or some shit. But you are going to do woven blanket and you're going to be one of the few. And it's like a nice premium gift for a nice premium price. That's why I make like $20 to $40 per sale instead of $5, right? So that's the cool thing about Grok is that like he's going to give you so many different ones for you to choose from. I like this one, by the way. You could even do one where you print the dog's name on top and then this at the bottom to make it even more personalized. Like this is already like steal this, guys. This is literally a bestseller. This is literally a bestseller. Um, so yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, here's another style. This is indeed like travel. Oh, my nose is so itchy. It's ridiculous. I put coconut thing on my face. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Or is the beard? Okay, I might cut this out. Anyway, this is for like the travel niche. So yeah, vintage travel patches, and it comes with this. I'm not sure if I would keep this embroidered style. You might not want to do that, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Just be careful of like tiny text and small details that need to be readable because it's going to mess that up in printing woven blankets. That's the only thing. All right, so this could be a very, very popular one as well. It's a little bright, so it's not going to be this bright in the woven blanket in its final form because it doesn't go well with like bright colors. Just so you know, but you will actually see what it's going to look like when you do your mockups. Again, see my previous video on how to do the mockups in Photoshop. All right, and then finally, like a super abstract one, which I've also seen these as bestsellers on Etsy, as well as on Shopify. Like I've seen people run Shopify stores and sell this as art. I don't know if they make it themselves or if they use AI prompts, but either way, I've seen these sell for a couple $100. So, and that's literally the same one. It's not like a different one. It's literally the same Printify or Guten woven blanket. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much it for this video. You get in the description, you get the link to all 100 prompts plus the master list that you can use to create your own prompts. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to see in the next one, just let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Goodbye. Oh, my nose is so itchy.